It's Kyle from MaltCast here. So Jimmy and I wanted to start participating in the whole Homebrew Wednesday thing that's here on YouTube. For those of you that aren't familiar with Homebrew Wednesday, I'm sure a lot of you are, especially if you follow a lot of the brewers on YouTube. Homebrew Wednesday is basically a time when the homebrewers on YouTube get together. They all kind of put out their own videos on this day. It's just kind of a good day to coordinate, and you know, everybody puts out their, usually a weekly thing, or maybe a little less frequently than that. But so we wanted to kind of participate, and until we kind of figure out what we're going to do with that, I wanted to start, just get the ball rolling. And what I'm going to do basically for the next little while is bring you guys a review of an Ontario craft beer, tell you a little bit about the brewery and so on. And then what I'm going to do is give you a recipe that I think will be a close approximation. So if you want to try making this beer at home, this is something that you can do. I'll give you the recipe to do that, and should be pretty close approximation. So to start with, what I have here, this is a beer that I picked up actually on the during Ontario Craft Beer Week. This was back in June, but I've been holding on to it to do this for you guys. So this is a beer made by a company called Cameron's, and it's Cameron's oak aged, part of their oak aged series. They do a few of these actually. This particular one is the Obsidian. It's an imperial porter, and it says here, so it's aged for 7 months in Caribbean rum barrels. It has roasted malt and chocolate character. So this one should be pretty interesting. So it's in a 650 ml bottle. They say it's unfiltered, which, you know, that's always good. I personally prefer that. I think that filtering usually subtracts some amount of flavor from the beer. So my preference is to have it be natural. So let's get this opened up here. So I've got just a relatively standard stout glass. So we'll pour some of this out so you can see. All right, so we've got about a finger head on that right now. So before we get into that, let me just tell you a little bit about Cameron's. So Cameron's is a brewery that's located just outside of Toronto in a town called Oakville, Ontario. They were founded in 1997. Their core lineup consists of 4 different beers. They make a cream ale, an auburn ale, they have a lager, and what's called Dark 266. The beers are only available in Ontario, unfortunately. So if you're, in the States, it's going to be a little bit hard for you to get a hold of them. Dark 266 in particular is very hard to find. It's not distributed all over the province. It's made in limited quantities. The brewery sells most of their beer in 9-packs instead of 6-packs. Their little slogan for that, they say, is brewed by a connoisseur, not by an accountant. So that's kind of their little tagline they got going. So let's just see what we got with this beer. So the head retention, it's kind of disappeared a little bit on us, but anyway, we'll taste it and we'll see what we get. Yeah, so it's got a very, very rich, chocolates. You definitely, I mean, the oak is very present. The flavor is just still there. Very rich oak, very, very rich chocolate, very nice. I'm not getting a lot of character from the rum, to be honest with you. The oak is definitely more coming through. It's not with like a bourbon oak aged stout where you get more of the vanilla. I'm not getting a lot of character coming through from the rum itself. So this is excellent. I would rate this probably, I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's very, very good. Excellent job by Cameron's. I'd like to get an opportunity to try more of their oak age series, but like I said, it's very limited releases. This one in particular, I think it was somewhere in the realm of, I think it might have been under 1,000 bottles actually of that they released. So it's one of those things where you really gotta be on it, and it's only going to be on the shelves probably for a couple of weeks. So let's talk about a homebrew equivalent recipe that you could brew to approximate this beer. So what we're going to start off with, and this will all be down in the description below, but I'll just give you the recipe here. So it's going to be 2 pounds of Golden Light DME, 2 pounds of Pale Malt, so just some 2-row. We're going to do 2 pounds of Flaked rye, 1 pound of Roasted Barley, half a pound of Caramel 120, half a pound of Caramel 40, half a pound of Chocolate Malt, half a pound of Pale Chocolate Malt, and a 1/4 pound of Black Patent. Now, this is a 10-gallon recipe, so scale down accordingly if you don't have a system to do 10 gallons. You obviously would just basically half everything. As for the hop schedule, so you're going to mash this probably at about 150, 152 or so. Then you're going to obviously sparge, and probably going to do a 90-minute boil for this just to intensify some of those characters from the dark malts, just to kind of condense everything and get the flavor going. So we're going to do a 90-minute boil. We'll start off with 1 ounce of Chinook at 90. We're going to do 2 ounces of First Gold at 90 as well. And then we're going to do 1 ounce of Amarillo at 20 and 1 ounce of Amarillo at 10. And then ferment with US-05. Now, for the oak-aged rum part of this, obviously we can't really get our hands on rum barrels. If you can, more power to you. But for the rest of us, what we're basically going to do is pick up some oak cubes. So most homebrew stores will sell these. You can get usually as many as you want. But we're going to try 3 ounces of oak cubes. So we're going to toast those lightly in the oven. Or some of them even come pre-toasted, but if yours are not toasted, this might be a good idea. It just helps to caramelize and get some of that flavor out. So probably, I'd say maybe 300 or 350 for maybe 30-40 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want it to char, obviously. But and then what we're going to do is we're going to put those in secondary. And you're probably going to do that. You're probably going to do secondary. You need to be careful with the oak because it can really over-extract quickly. So this is one of those things where, you want to taste it maybe every few days. Just pull a little tiny sample and just see how it's doing. I'd probably say a week maximum with the oak. And then to get the rum character, you can add 2 ounces per gallon of rum right to the mixture. Alternatively, what you can do is you can actually soak the oak cubes in the rum. So you might want to do a little bit of a double there. Soak them before you put them in secondary, and then add the rum straight to the beer, either in secondary or add bottling. One or the other. It's up to you guys. But so try that recipe. Let us know how it goes. I think that I probably will try this one at some point. I've got a whole kind of back catalog that I'm trying to work my way through of recipes. But I think this will be a very, very close approximation of this beer. In fact, it'll probably even be a little bit more rum flavored because of you're adding the rum to it. But very, very good. If you get a chance to try some of Cameron's beers, I'd also recommend the RPA. They're a rye pale ale. I don't have some of that to taste for you, but one of the best beers I've had in a while. That's probably like a 9, maybe even a 9.5 for me. Really, really, really nicely flavored. It had lots of hop character to it, and then just the nice spiciness from the rye. So fantastic. But I guess that's it for me today, guys. Check back for more content soon. Like I said, we'll be trying to bring you more regular content on YouTube. There's going to be some how to brew stuff coming up from me in particular. I'm going to be doing some kegging stuff. I'm probably going to be doing extract brewing, all grain brewing, try to cover everybody. I don't want to just jump in with how to brew all grain because not everybody is inclined or motivated to do all grain. But anyway, thank you for watching, and cheers everyone. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, and Kyle from MaltCast signing off.